If we dominate the stats, we're going to score a bunch of goals and win, right? Right? Eh, this is Chelsea. Welcome back, folks, to Believe in Chelsea FC. I am your host, Raj Groves, and I hope all is well with you. I really do. What's going on with you guys? We had a match, our third match versus Crystal Palace. And woo! Oh, there's some Victor Osimhen news we got to get to later in Word of the Street. But first, let's get to that match against Crystal Palace. They hadn't won in Stamford Bridge since 2017. I believe we've beat them 14 straight times, straight up. Well, the streak is over, folks. The streak is over. Like I said, Chelsea dominated the stats. I mean, possession is one thing. I don't care so much about possession, but we did have over 60% of the ball. But expected goals, we had a 2.4 XG. They had a 0.44 XG expected goals. What about big chances? That's a real stat. Big chances. Yep, look it up. It's a real stat, folks, not making it up. We had 5 of them. 5 big chances. Let me get my fingers in here. Can I get all 5? There we go. 5 big chances. They had 0 big chances. But they still managed to score, of course, and get out of there with a draw in Stamford Bridge. 1-1 was the score, and Crystal Palace set up in a 3-4-3 formation. You know, and early, I thought in the 23rd minute, things were looking good. Yeah. It was a sweet counter attack that we had. Started by Levi Colwill, his defense. He depossesses a Crystal Palace player, gets it over to Nani Madueke on the right. He gets it in a cold-blooded Cole Palmer, who one-touches it for a tap-in for Nicholas Jackson. And I thought my 3-1 prediction was on the way. It was, here it comes. 3-1, we about to win this. It was going to look like it was going to be, I wouldn't say easy, but we were, like I said, we had a lot of chances. And chances don't always equal goals, as you know. We did dominate the stats, as I mentioned, but we just weren't clinical this game. So it's, you know, you optimist, a pessimist, as a glass half full, glass half empty. One way you can look at it, hey, look at the stats. 5 big chances, 2.4 XG, possession of the ball. But if you're a glass half full, you'll say, damn it, they only scored 1 goal. They weren't clinical. You know, didn't that final third just wasn't smooth. Now, the starting 11 was exactly the way I predicted it. I'm still going to stick with Caicedo and Enzo as our midfielders, defensive midfielders. And I was like, enough of the Mudryk starting experiment. Come on, Pedro Neto. He's been here long enough. Let's get him in the starting 11. And we did get him in the starting 11. And wasn't his best game for Neto, but what do you expect? He's settling in. There was a give and go with Cucurella that was sweet on the left side. But other than that, he didn't complete any crosses. Not sure he even attempted any. I know he lost his dribble 7 times. And I'm not saying it as a bad game. He was trying to be creative, but it just didn't come off for him this game for Pedro Neto. But it was good to see him out there starting and giving us hope that Mudryk won't be starting games. Like I said, I don't care if you put him in late for a late sub and let him run around and use all that athleticism, but I can't have Mudryk starting anymore. So starting 11 was just how I thought. Still sticking with the Colwill and Fofana center back, and I think this is an important stretch for those two, because we keep focusing on the attack, striker, winger. What are we getting? Attacking mid, but where are we? What are we doing with the back four? So they didn't have a bad game this game. I thought the midfield of Caicedo and Enzo definitely played better. There's been some questionable play. Mainly, I would say Caicedo this time around, getting depossessed and just people running through him. That didn't happen this game. So although we scored 1, we only conceded 1 goal. So that was nice to see. Well, I failed to mention Crystal Palace came into this game. I believe they were 0-2. Yeah. So they had scored 1 goal coming in. So I thought it was going to be a 3-1 game. I thought we'd win, but a draw didn't feel good, especially when you were up 1-0. And early in the second half, there was a smooth finish. You got to give credit to Crystal Palace. I mean, the ball, you know, They had us pinned for just a second. The ball deflected out, and he just took his time. He got the ball squared up, saw that corner, boom, top right shelf. Nothing Sanchez could do about that one. And he really wasn't tested much this game, so it's hard to grade his game. But that's the way it went. They tied it up early in the second half, and here we go. So after 3 games, our Chelsea Blues have lost a game, of course, to Man City. We won a game. We looked great against the Wolves, 6-2, and now we have drawn against Crystal Palace. So 1-1-1. Sky's not falling, but we're also aren't jumping up and down for joy, right? And of course, the international break comes up here. So for those who don't know, that's when players that are selected get to play for their respective countries. So we got some guys on the English squad. So I'll be looking at, from England, Nani's first call up. England, I believe they play Ireland and is it Finland? Let me see, who do they play? England, yeah, Finland, Ireland and Finland. So Nani gets the call up for the English squad. So that'll be fun to watch. Good for him. Of course, Cole Palmer plays for England. Now, one I'm really excited about. Yeah, I'm bringing that name up again. Esteban Willian, the young Brazilian, the 17-year-old that will be here at Stamford Bridge, here in London when he turns 18. He got the call up for Brazil. So this will be his first taste of the national squad experience. So I can't wait to see that. Keep telling you, he better, man. I keep telling y'all about him. He better not let me down. Come on, Esteban. So I want to see that. And so, yeah, that's the international break. And then once we come back out of that international break, let's see, we've got a game against Bournemouth. And then 3 days later, the EFL Cup, which is currently known as the Carabao Cup. So 2 games after the international break. I believe that is the September 14th and 17th. And of course, on the 14th, you got to check us out. LA Chelsea Blues will be at Joxer Deli in Santa Monica. Yep. That'll be fun. It's a noon game. So, we all get to wake up and be a little rowdy. It'll be fun. We don't have to be at 5:36 in the morning like those committed guys do. I love those guys for that. Ooh, that's rough for me sometimes. I watch the games, but it's hard for me to get out in them streets like y'all. Now, I mentioned some word on the street we might be interested in, a familiar name, someone that was on the window shopping list, the wish list, if you will, the last few months. Well, hell, last year, really. Victor Osimhen. We thought that he would be on the shelf, just chilling, waiting for the next transfer window to open. But no, Turkish squad, Galatasaray, have come in and have agreed in principle for a loan with Victor Osimhen. So Napoli have accepted the straight loan proposal with no option to buy clause. Osimhen will earn about 9 to 8 million pounds for his salary. So there you go. And that will lead us to Get At Me, where people reach out either in comments here on YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're watching, or getatmeblues@gmail.com. Paul in Washington asked, speaking of Victor Osimhen, are you really good with not getting Victor Osimhen? Considering the circumstances, yes. And there's a reason why. I said it on the last pod. We were getting desperate. Last time we got desperate, we paid a Premier League record for Moises Caicedo. We got played in that whole ordeal because we were desperate. We let it be known. We got to have him. We got to have him. Oh, every time we came back, the price went up because we was desperate. Now, I wasn't concerned with the price with Napoli in terms of the transfer fee for Osimhen, but his salary and the incentives. And this is the whole wage go. You guys go back to the first podcast I put up here, first video on YouTube. I was saying under Boli and the sporting directors, the wage salary scale, they're not doing that. So that was the impasse, and that's what they couldn't get past. That's what the fallout was about with Victor Osimhen, was the wages. And when we get desperate, it doesn't always work out that way. So I'm glad they were somewhat prudent. Again, I don't think a striker will solve all the problems of Chelsea. I believe there is a shaky back four. Maybe it's just playing together, getting some cohesiveness, but we're not a striker away, folks. Hate to tell you, not a striker away. But I do like Osimhen's game. But Everything at a certain price. And so there you have it. Coming back, like I say, September the 14th and 17th, a couple games after the international breaks. Let's see how the boys do out with their respective nations as we do this. As always, leave a comment, smash a like if you're watching on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to it, brother, if you feel like it. There's some content out there. So we'll keep word on the street. We'll do something in between here in the international games. Excuse me. There's a game next week on Saturday. So we'll be checking in, and especially with some rumors, although the transfer window has closed, Chelsea stays busy up in the word on the street in the rumors. So check it out here. Believe in Chelsea FC. I'm Raj Groves. I'll have all that content with you. Have some fun. Oh, and for the next game on the 14th, I got some ideas for the LA Chelsea Blues, some stuff we're going to do post game. We're going to have some fun. Make sure you tune in for that. All right. Believe in Chelsea FC. Let's get it, Blues.